7202.
Fez, here's, accidentally my best friend, Billy Staples. Hey, Billy.
Hey, Ron. Speaking of some guys have all the luck, who's this guy you had on yesterday talking about addiction, not a disease, and making money off of lies? Hey, you know what? Cancer's not a disease. Can I write a book?
Well, Billy, all right, before we get into this, James Frye was in yesterday. And some of the stuff that went through for your time in rehab is you, and it was all very, very honest, all very upfront, but you couldn't embrace the 12 steps because you're an atheist.
Yeah, I definitely do not believe in God. I don't believe in any higher power, and I didn't believe that there was this sort of simple system of 12 steps that I could take to fix my life. I just thought that was sort of, considering what I had done, how I had lived, what I had seen, what I had felt, it was ludicrous to me to turn it all over to a higher power and just wait for it to get better. It just, it makes sense to some people. It absolutely made no sense to me.
And basically what you did was just hold on tight, just kind of, as they say, white knuckle it, work your way through it.
Yeah, people say white knuckle it. I always laugh at that. I broke it all down to like a very simple process of decision making. I don't believe addiction's a disease. I don't believe that some higher power controls what I do or how I live. Mm-hmm. I believe that, I have the ability to make decisions, and I can decide whether to take a drug or not, and I can decide whether to drink or not. And if I strung enough decisions together saying no over and over and over again, I believe that it ultimately would no longer be an issue, and that's what I did.
He's a guy who got sober without doing the 12 steps.
Yeah.
And his stuck, unlike your, I don't know, your rehab is more like throwing darts and hoping they hit a balloon.
Yeah.
It may be one day, it may be 30 days, whatever.
Look, if you want to compare stories, he takes his story and blows it. Oh, poor me, poor me. Meanwhile, his parents send him to Hazelden, which is the best clinic money can buy, and
He said that.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he went to rehab. Big friggin' deal. 7 of them, right here, okay? 7 of them.
But here's the problem. You never wrote a book. You've never interested people with your rehab talk.
Oh, I could, but you know what?
You have to have a success story to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Chapter 8, I'm off the wagon again.
Chapter 9, back to Chapter 1.
Okay, you're both wrong, but let's proceed.
Hey, he put us in our place.
He sit there and, he's letting people, under the false impression that this is not a disease.
Well, it's hard for people who aren't alcoholics to see it that way.
Okay,
I am one, and I have a hard time believing it's a disease. That's why I said it's more maybe like an allergy. Like some people can eat strawberries and some people can't.
Okay, so if you eat enough strawberries, are you going to get wet brain and die?
Yes, you can eventually.
If you kept drinking water, you can die from it. You cannot abuse any substance on the planet.
If you go with the allergy analogy, yes. If you're allergic to strawberries, yes, that'll happen.
Yeah, you're not going.
And even if you're not, you will develop an allergy to strawberries by eating too many of them.
But you're not addicted to them. There's a big difference. There's then a physical addiction to a strawberry.
But that doesn't make it a disease.
Yeah, okay, so if you, so then what makes diabetes a disease?
I am not even sure. How is that a disease, Fez? I don't have it.
Well, some people give it to themselves.
Some people are born with it. Yeah, some people are born with it.
The type 1.
And other people abuse food.
It's a defective pancreas.
And nobody believes the type of disease that Fez has is the same kind of the kids that are born and have to take insulin.
Right. The insulin in the body doesn't work, so it's an actual defect.
There's an actual chemicals that in the brain that are only found in addicts that are not found in so-called normal people, okay? This is a study. It's been proven.
Why is it important for you to have a disease, Billy?
Well, you know what? If I read the book, I won't. Then I'll be cured.
So you can get handicap parking.
All right, name me another book that if you read it, you're cured. From anything. And that includes the Bible.
If we're to believe what this guy Jim Frye says,
James.
Sorry?
James Frye.
James Frye.
Whatever.
You can cure yourself without a 12-step program and without help from anybody else.
Let me ask you this. Do you think anyone in the 1700s was able to stop drinking?
Yeah, probably non-alcoholics.
But
definitely.
no, an alcoholic in the 1700s, they didn't have the 12-step book. They just died?
Yeah, probably.
No. People were able to quit.
Yeah, if they weren't alcoholics.
Some alcoholics are able to quit.
Name one.
I don't know, but there's I'll give you one. George W. Bush, President of the United States.
Can you prove he's not drinking with some of the crap that he's doing?
No, I'm going to take his. And I can't prove that you're not drinking or anyone else in your group is. It's not my place to go out. But I don't think that there's only one solution to any problem.
But don't you think, though, that, the whole principle of the other program, the 12-step program, is anonymity. And you know what? It works on that premise. If you don't believe in God, if you're an atheist, you believe there is no God, if you're an agnostic.
What's that got to do with anonymity?
Well, I'm just saying the principles of the program. He's supposedly an atheist, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he doubts he doubts that there is a God.
Right.
But yet he can fathom the fact that the phones we're talking on are made of swirling electrons, that aren't a mass.
Oh, I'm lost.
Yes, he believes in science.
He can accept that without any problem.
But I'm not telling him to believe in God. Now, an AA isn't a religious thing at all, right?
No, not at all. It's spiritual.
So,
all you have to do is believe in a power greater than
he
yourself.
doesn't.
Huh?
He doesn't believe in that. That's his choice.
There is nothing...
now you sound like you're some right-wing guy who wants to go around and make people believe like you.
You know what? He does believe, Ron. He has to believe in something that's greater than himself.
There are people who are atheists in this world.
Yes.
And here's the thing. It's not up for me to go around and try to convince them of a God. I'm not going to spend my time doing that. Nor look down for anyone, whatever their beliefs are.
Look, I don't want this guy going out giving the wrong people the message that really need help. I don't come on the air and say what support group I belong to in case I fail, because that makes the support group look bad.
You've brought in your chips. Who else gives out chips? He says he doesn't use
Pringles.
AA. He doesn't use it.
Okay, well, good. Then you know what?
So he doesn't have to be anonymous.
So then you know what? Then why would you take the time to write a glorified story?
Did you read the book?
Yeah, I read snippets of it.
It's far from glorified.
No, Ron, when I say glorified, talking about, you know what, his missing his teeth and drinking wine, and you know what, we can all take our war stories. The book is a war story. You'll admit that.
Every book is somebody's experiences.
Yeah, but you know what? It gives the wrong impression to people who really need help.
What are you saying? There's only one way, your way, that's failed at least 7 times?
First off, it's not my way, okay?
It's the highway for you.
No.
The drunken highway. Oh, no, that's right. They won't let you drive.
No, they won't because of physical problems.
No, that's not true.
Both.
The physical problems is you can't drive drunk.
Yeah, well, okay.
Do you have a license?
No.
That's
Thank
a physical problem. You can't reach it.
Please step down.
Yeah, okay, so he tells about his jail experience, too.
Right.
Okay, I'll tell you, you want to compare stories? We'll compare stories. And you know what? I can embellish on mine.
No. Here's the difference. He created a book, a piece of art. That's why he is where he is.
Good, then I'll write a book.
Then yes, that's right. You're allowed to write a book.
Try reading one first.
Instead of writing a book, you came out with the Filthy Christmas CDs.
Yeah,
that,
and you
I
know
believe
what?
are doing really well, by the way, from what I understand.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
it's better than that book.
What? Hey, Billy.
Hello?
Here's
Hey, it's Earl.
Earl.
Hi, Earl.
One of the first things he said in the interview yesterday was that he didn't say this is the way to go. He just said, hey, this is what happened to me. This is the route that I have to take. Whoever is going through this, you have to pick your own route. There's no one way to do it.
Okay, but don't you understand that if let's say I'm sitting here and I'm still struggling with being active and I hear that, okay, and I'm sitting there going, wow, I have options. I don't have to go to rehab.
You know what? You do have options.
There are no
If you hear a
options for
beer commercial, guess what, Billy? That's one of your options. Whatever you do in life, you're responsible for. That was his message yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it takes away from the message of the 12 Steps program.
So why does he denounce the 12 steps and denounce the existence of a higher power?
That is his choice. He
And by
doesn't have to believe. Who are you, the fucking Spanish Inquisition?
No.
Where you have to make people believe the way you believe?
This is not. I'm not allowed to debate what this guy says?
No, you can debate. I'm taking the other side.
Yeah, well,
That's why if you weren't allowed to debate, I just hang up on you.
Oh. Well, I mean, this guy was just out there spouting it, and from what I did read, yeah, the guy had a hard time. But you know what? All he did, Ronnie, is sit there and say, you know what? He had a tough life. You know, he came from glorified, a very wealthy family, and he was able to quit on his own. Great. That's wonderful. You know what? It does happen. There are Christmas miracles and miracles all the time. But you know what? For the majority of us, you cannot do it alone. Okay?
For the majority of us, Billy, we can't even do it with help. 92% of the people fail.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the
or
8%.
Billy out, as we call in the program. Hey, did you hear he billied out last night?
We found him Billy up.
Or did you hear he just stapled himself to another bottle?
I'm proud to say at 12 o'clock today, whatever, I'm still sober. So
good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, and I do it. And I do not do it alone. I do it with the help of my higher power and my sponsor and my.
You know what, Billy? And I'm not saying this just to start a fight, but when I think of you, that makes me doubt that there is a higher power. Or what kind of mistakes would he be making?
Do you think there's a lower power?
Well, that's where your misconception is wrong. It is your
My misconception is wrong.
Of a higher power. Yours and mine do not have to be the same.
But, Billy, all right, let's say, if you were going to diet, a lot of people, they don't want to go get stapled twice like you did.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't go through that.
There's 12 steps for eating, too, Fez. There's 12 steps for everything now.
Yeah.
Breaking up everything.
James Frye didn't buy into your particular program. He went and found something else.
And I believe he's delivering the wrong message.
I don't think it's a message.
I want to come on the air and deliver the correct message.
All right, here's Blaze. You're on with Billy Staples.
Hey, man, this guy's a fucking idiot because I quit drinking without a program. I took 3 steps. I looked at my kid. I looked at my wife. I looked at all my shit, and I saw it all going out the door. And I decided it was time to stop. And I'm a stone-cold alcoholic.
How do you define a stone-cold alcoholic?
I was a non-functioning alcoholic. I went from job to job. Booze was more important than showing up for work. It was more important than showing up to occasions that I had predetermined with my wife, with my son. I missed ball games.
Well, it shows your ignorance because most alcoholics are functioning. Most alcoholics function
So
very
what's
well.
your point? He's not an alcoholic. He is one. If he shows up to an AA meeting and says, I'm an alcoholic, everybody would say welcome. They would believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you believe him, Billy?
Well, because just what he said. Most alcoholics are higher functioning. A non-functioning alcoholic.
You've never heard of one. Go to any homeless guy. They're non-functioning alcoholics.
Mm-hmm. And yet there are other. You're going to tell me that there are not people sitting behind a big fancy desk?
I'm saying if this guy tells me that he's an alcoholic, I believe him.
Okay, so you know what, Ronnie? He says he's an alcoholic and he quit in 3 steps. How many people do you honestly know who are alcoholic or an addict who are able to do it on their own? I cannot name very many.
I can't name all. You know what I mean? It's a struggle for everyone, Billy, but it doesn't just have to be your way.
It is not just my way. I am just letting you know that just because this guy writes a book.
Your way is not the only way, and that's the same thing James Frye said. His way is not the only way.
His way is his way.
He and I have different.
Most people.
He and I have different spiritual beliefs, but I don't feel the need to grab him and start screaming about my beliefs. I think that's stupid.
Well, I'm just doing exactly what he did. I'm doing exactly what James Frye did.
You said that he can't quit, right? Without help. Without being part of a 12-step program.
If he is a genuine addict, I don't believe it.
And you also said you had the correct message.
No, I just follow the 12 steps.
Today.
It's not my message.
Today you follow it,
yeah.
But I've been with you half the time you're not following it. You're all fucked up, crazy, making out with lobster claws in front of everybody.
Your pants down at a titty bar.
Okay, that was the past.
Right.
We live day by day, 24 hours.
Now, I heard some of your new CD, Filthy Christmas.
Yeah.
What higher power would write pornographic songs about Christmas carols?
It's the gift that God gave me. Some people can do other things, like walk on a high wire or whatever.
High wire. The reason why you're in trouble, you couldn't walk the line on the street.
Yeah, that has happened.
You couldn't stay on a lane. All right, here is Dave. Dave, you're on with Billy Staples.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Ron. Hi, fans. Happy birthday, Billy. Hey, listen, talk about
alcoholism being a disease, but didn't doctors categorize that as a disease so insurance companies will pay for it?
Yeah, AMA in the 1960s declared it a disease, the American Medical Association.
So that it would be covered by insurance. It doesn't matter whether it's a disease or not. To me,
doesn't.
That's my only thing. I don't care.
If you look at the path that any disease takes, alcoholism follows the same path. It's progressive.
So is life. Life gets progressively worse. The human existence, your body, once you stop growing, starts to deteriorate.
Yeah, and it ends in death.
So does life.
Yeah, but when we're talking about diseases,
the healthiest person in the world deteriorates and dies.
Billy, you're in a huge state of decay.
Yeah, so who isn't? I mean, and that's one thing we all do have in common. I'll agree with you on that.
All right, here's Mikey. Mikey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, it's Mikey D again.
That was just a joke? He just did a Mikey D thing? All right, good. Here's Keith. Keith, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, this is Keith. Listen, nice to have you back there, Fezzy. Listen, I went to Moose Lake, I went to Hazelton, I went to St. Joe's Alcohol Treatment Center. I went to the 12-step program. I did my 90/90s and all that crap. And yeah, it worked for a while, but I'd fall back on my little pity pot and I'd start drinking again.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you're sitting there talking about 12-step program. One of the steps of the 12-step program is having a spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I had a spiritual awakening. I hit bottom. I woke up and my face stuck to the frickin' floor, and I was tired of it. And I decided this is it. I'm done. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of feeling sorry for myself, and I decided to quit drinking.
So it did work for you.
It was hard. It was hard as hell, but I just decided to change my whole lifestyle. Changed everything. I got married. I had kids.
Good. So the 12-step program set the basis for your.
The 12-step program doesn't work for some people. It works for a lot of people.
Well, it worked for you.
A lot of people are weak-minded and can't do anything. Can't stay off of drugs or alcohol without having somebody to hold their hand the whole time. Sometimes you got to stand up and just do it.
We have a 24-hour reprieve based on our spiritual condition, and you got it, sir.
Look it up.
I thank you.
Congratulations.
Billy?
Yeah.
All you're doing is reading a book back at other people.
Ron, I'm staring out the window at the snow.
But you've memorized these things, right? Or was that a thought of yours?
No, of course not.
Right.
Billy, when he said weak-minded, you should have said hello like Squiggy.
It says, no, this is the big book. I mean, if I'm going to believe in something...
The big book for the big boy.
No, the big book. If I'm going to believe in something, I'm going to read it. And I do retain things.
Good. If that works for you, great.
Yeah.
I think it's terrific.
And if it works, and if what James Frye said yesterday works for him, great. But don't go spouting it.
But, James Frye, I even made him admit yesterday that he wouldn't have been able to quit without the rehab.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not feel like he could sit down and bend his knees to a higher power because he doesn't believe in one. I got no problem with that. That's a belief. That's a religious belief, is saying, I don't believe. Well, it's the same kind of belief as saying, I believe in Allah or Jesus or Moses or whoever other people believe in.
Right,
I don't believe in fucking with them on that.
You're wrong. Your higher power could be the rehab.
Whatever. That's you trying to make it fit into your world.
No,
his world, he doesn't need to be part of anything. I don't feel the need to convince somebody that I'm right. The only thing the guy's trying to do is stay sober, and then he wrote a book about it. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, look, write a book, but don't deliver the wrong message
What
to people
message?
who need help.
What message?
The fact is he is using a higher power. He's using his experience in rehab as something that was greater than him. Okay? He may not come out and admit it, but that's the truth. His experience in rehab was the power greater than himself that made him want to quit. Now, whether he gets down on his knees and prays to it or whatever, no. It's in his head. It's in his brain.
So you feel like that's his God, the rehab. And you know what? He gave money back to that rehab.
Good. Well, he's from a wealthy family. He's very lucky.
No, he makes his own money.
Well, now he's got millions from a book. That can be misleading.
All right, Billy, a couple people want to talk to you. Here is, let me say, here's Jim. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm real pissed at the moment.
Why is that?
Billy, let me point something out to you. I've been sober for 18 years.
Point something out to me. Go ahead.
I've been sober for 18 years. The program worked for me. What you're doing, and I turned around, I listened yesterday, and what James Frye had to say, I disagreed with. Okay. But I'm not going to sit here and spout off at him and say, oh, you're absolutely wrong, that the program works for everyone. You know, you're wrong in this case, Billy. What you're turning around and doing is the exact same thing that he did. You're saying, oh, your way works for you. Oh, wonderful. But, you know, my way's the only way. You're wrong, Billy.
Okay, Jim, can I reply to you? I said, my main point is not to give people who need the help, like you and I, the wrong message.
Okay, but Billy, there are people that the program doesn't work for. The gentleman that was just on the phone said it straight up. He had a spiritual awakening. It wasn't through the program. He had a spiritual awakening. It was in a different state.
But he said he had done the whole rehab and everything, and he learned through AA.
But it did nothing for him, Billy. That's what I'm saying to you. You're not listening. You're hearing what you want to hear.
No, you don't have a spiritual awakening without realizing it, without knowing what it is, if you don't have a 12-step background.
Bullshit, Billy, because what do you think brought me into the program?
What? I
had a spiritual awakening that brought me into the program. Didn't know anything about it when it brought me in. Okay. Had no idea what it was that brought me in. Okay? But I had a spiritual awakening that said to me, hey, guess what? You have a problem, Jim. Let's go.
Yeah, mine happened. Well, mine happened to happen while I was in rehab.
Well, it's not just lovely for you, but Billy, you're not listening.
Billy, you're a 7-time loser. Did you have 7 spiritual awakenings?
No, just the most recent one.
Billy, come on, you'll be drunk inside of a week. Who are you kidding?
That's true.
All right, thank you very much.
Guys.
See you later. Now, does that hurt, Billy, to hear that from an 18-year guy?
No,
You'll be
not
drunk
at all.
within inside a week?
Yeah, because...
What happened there, Bill? Spiritual awakening?
No, because, well, inside the rooms that wouldn't happen, but, it's easy to do it over the phone.
Okay. All right, here is, let's go Sonny first. Sonny, you're on Running Fez?
Yeah, it's Sonny Ferrelli from Whackbag.
Hey, Sonny, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing? Listen, I'm really getting pissed off at Bill too. Listen, I'm a result of a 12-step program, 13 years sober, okay? And thank God that this fucking, and I'm an atheist. And listen to what I just said. Thank God, right? And I'm an atheist. And what I have to tell Bill is he's better fucking dig his fucking nose into the fucking chapter 4 of the Big Book and read it fucking carefully. Because
how it works? I'm well aware of it.
What's chapter 4?
No matter how my fucking conception of fucking God is, it's enough to make the effective approach for me to stay fucking sober today.
That's what I fucking said. You're not listening to me.
No, you're trying to push God down everybody's fucking throat.
I said
and
your
that's
higher
exactly
power
what
can
the
be
fucking
your
program
rehab.
isn't about.
Dude, I said your higher power can be your rehab. I'm not pushing God down anybody's throat. I'm for being a religious person.
You want to know something? Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I hope you stay sober today, buddy.
And I do for you too. And you know what? I just hope that people, when they think about the CD, separate the Billy Station in the air from the CD, because the CD is dynamite.
Billy, I'm only going to do this. I'm going to mail a bottle of tequila to your house.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right, good. Give me something to give them.
That's a smart bomb that I am going to do. I'm going to put, I'll put a pint in your mailbox.
Why don't you send Harry over with a bunch of bottles strapped to his waist?
I don't know who Harry is. I don't even think he's around today. Is he, Earl? Oh, he's in the corner?
No, he did bad again?
Like he tells me it's a mute point. That's a mute point, he says to me.
No.
Not even moat. Mute. Motherfucker.
Ron and Fez. XM 202.